Hello, beautiful souls. Oh, what do I have there? Hello, hello. Welcome. And this little piece of hair. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Sahasrara. I even love the name. It's so enlightening, enlivening. It's got lots of energy to it. And that's an interesting thing, when we're talking about energy and we're talking about all the work that we've been doing from the lower frequencies of Mother Earth and up into God, Creator, Divine, Source energy. We talk about it, and a lot of times it's talked about as ascension, enlightenment. It's really an increase in your voltage. It's our powerhouse. It's what gives us the fuel in order to do such big work. So welcome to the work. And I love you for stepping into being the best that you can be. My name's Deborah O'Neill. I am the CEO and founder of blissbee.me, Integrative Holistic Health. I'm here to share because I care. I'm here to let you know and help you to define different parts of our energy body so that there's a greater understanding, there's a greater awareness. And awareness is the gift. And where is it found? In the present moment. So thanks for taking this present moment to be here with me as we delve further into we're exploring on an adventure the area of the 7th chakra, Sahasrara. It's depicted often as 1,000-petal lotus. The vastness, the possibilities, infinity. It's kind of like when I put my eye cream on. I go on a figure 8 over my eyes. And I'm like, wow, there's just I learned it from my esthetician, and I like how she applied it so much. I do it at home for myself. And I'm like, there's no coincidence. There's no coincidence that this is infinity. It's all about patterns, sacred geometry patterns, the patterns that we use to identify people we know. It's those connecting the dots that comes together and go, oh yeah, I know, yeah. And then we have that memory recall from our subconscious. I can still remember my childhood phone number, and I can still remember my best friend's childhood phone number. That's our recall from the subconscious, which is 95% of our operating system that operates at 40 billion synapses or triggers or whatever per second, not per minute. And this one is all 40,000 or something per second. Our conscious mind, where we are living in this present moment. So we have a lot to work with in the foreground, and I believe it's even goes lifetimes back. So sometimes we need to call on a little friend, a Lemurian seed of history, as said by all the little grooves along here. I don't know if you can see it. It's got lots of little, it's like mini step ladder of knowledge. And if it works for me, if it works for you, that's great. There's little prisms inside, and it grows. It's so interesting. I find them so interesting. It's like as I grow, so does my baby rock. So do my children. So does the earth, because we are all one. So when we do the work, the big work, which I'm going to talk about today, as part of Sahasrara, then we do it for all. We do it for all, and that's why it's called evolution. Evolution, because what one does affects all. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is attachment to those patterns, attachment to that favorite puzzle, or attachment to things we don't even realize that we have attachment to, because that's what we're working with here. And that's stealing our energy. It's stealing our energy. Sometimes I like to refer to when we go back to the heart area. So we've got our heart. Let's do a little picture. I've got my heart. Here's my heart. I experience pain and suffering and disappointment, expectation. I have a little bit of superiority here that causes me lots of problems. I've got a little bit of this here. Then our opportunity to love is smaller, right? It's when we let go of all this stuff, we release it. Our heart becomes more open. This all takes energy. No wonder we're so exhausted. No wonder we're so exhausted. We're not exhausted because we're triathletes or that we're, running 30K a day or whatever that might be. Even then, our body would adjust to it. We're exhausted because we're spending our energy. We're spending on energy in these little chaotic things, these little worries, this is anxiety, this disappointment, this hate, this pain. Wow. If we just started taking little pieces back, and that's what we're doing. We're taking little pieces back. Some people will go to yoga and they'll think, wow, I came out of there, did things I never thought I could do, but I came out of there with so much energy. It's because when we increase the voltage, when we increase, when we work up our energy body and we are like increasing the voltage, things can't stick to us. Things can't stick to the field. Remember, we're that big biofield. Well, we can be a small biofield or we can be a big biofield. Things don't stick. Things aren't attracted to it like a magnet. Positive to positive, negative to negative. The opposing, positive to negative, they don't stick. So we're simply voltage. So let's increase our voltage. Or we get a weak battery. Does it shine as bright? No, we need to recharge it. So welcome to the recharging station. There's a little saying in here, from Charles Whitfield, that suffering may force a new perspective and perception about what is reality. It can weaken the ego through repeated frustration, just enough to allow a giving up or surrendering, which opens the person to the possibility of transcending their previous belief systems and levels up consciousness. As I was saying yesterday, we get to that point sometimes in the emotional center and you're like, enough is enough. I surrender. Yay. Yay. Oops, I've got my incense close to me today because it's a good subject to get some clearing on. So when I clear here, I clear for all. When I grab my PAL, I grab my PAL for everybody. So it sits on my lap. Here it is. Let's get to work. All right. So when we talk about what is our biggest obstacle, which as often Anna calls it the demon. She gives it a name that, or sometimes they're called energy vampires because they take our energy, they take your energy. So the demon, she says, of the crown chakra is attachment. So what happens when we have attachment is it denies that fluidity. Remember, I even talked about that, about wearing, depending on what you wear to bed, it's taking a look at the level of how we can increase the fluidity in the body, both in the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body. So that whole person quadrant is all those four things. So when I speak of whole person, whole being, healing, we're working with that whole vortex, that evolutionary vortex that's in the physical, the mental, emotional, and relational, which includes the spiritual. It's the relationship that we have with that. If we have resistance to it, then what resists persists. And what's that going to do? That's going to steal your energy. So it's best to have that fluidity in thought. So it constantly denies the fluid state of the universal system. It keeps us anchored in time, unable to move forward, and trapped in a small place. So if you're living small, not only are you ripping yourself off, but you're ripping the world off. You're unable to embrace a larger place. So in the Eastern philosophies, attachment is seen as the basis of suffering, because we get so stuck that we grasp onto that. We try to change people's minds. We try to change people's perspectives. Oh, this situation out there, this too shall pass. Well, it's going to pass, but with action towards the freedom for all, action towards oneness. My goodness, oneness. Attachment is a slippery demon, she says. It's not something we can live entirely without. We need to keep some healthy attachment, obviously, to our children's and loved ones, our goals and our agreements. You know, there's certain things that even in the Vedic and yogic arenas where, you know, they denounce their families in order to be on the spiritual path. A lot of it isn't so much demanded upon them anymore. They recognize that sort of attachment that's with the family. Or they give them decision to come when the time is right, when it works for them. I always say to my kids now that they're older, I said, if you can't find me, look at the ashram first. You'll find me there. To let go of attachment is to release our fixation upon something external. It's to relinquish our need for control. Control is often seen as sort of a survival mechanism, especially if you've had a lot of trauma growing up. You don't leave your life to somebody else, or you have really hypersensitive control systems in place for yourself. It's our desire for a certain outcome. So naturally, if we've had previously bad outcomes where somebody else controlled our lives, then we want that. But it's important to recognize that level of that grasping, recognize that hypersensitivity. That's our witness. That's our observation. That's our awareness. And then we get to witness that about ourselves, yourself. Wow. Wow. Or listen even to the change in your voice. How old are you when you're speaking that voice? If you go into that tiny or high-pitched voice or that lower octave, where in the history of you, when do you remember using that tone of voice? Or what is the intention of that tone of voice? Attachment says we are certain we know what is best. We're certain of it. It does not allow the humility that opens us up to something larger. Humility is, it's innocence, I think. It's precious. It's tenderness. It's like knowing that what I say could, in fact, be wrong. Somebody's going to listen to this and go, oh my gosh, this jibber jabber. It's my jibber jabber. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Attachment itself is a teacher, and we are reteaching ourselves. We're educating, reteaching ourselves. Then we're embodying it. We're feeling it within our body. We're working with it. We're reconnecting new dots. We're remembering. And then we get to experience a new sense of being that I like to call bliss. Live bliss, teach bliss, be bliss. Fighting, it says, is only increasing the attachment. We have to address the underlying factors that empower the attachments. Addressing our underlying needs will ease our attachments to what we cannot have. Attachment fixates our energy outside of the self. When we sit and witness, we can ask, who is that is attached? What underlying belief supports this attachment? What purpose does this belief serve? What are its benefits? What are its costs? Which is greater? When we go into the back end, when we go into the monthly membership, part of the files, the PDF files, and the part of the work that we do will always have a worksheet that will be in a PDF file that you can print off or add to your files on your phone, so that we can work through this on a monthly basis, where we can actually put pen to paper and hold yourself accountable. You can make accountability circles with people that are in the group, in the community, or invite a friend to join with you and do the work together. Better yet, do it as a family. Invite your spouse, share it with your children. It's simply creating awareness every day. What is this? What is this attachment? What underlying belief supports this? What purpose does this serve? Really? Do I want to be right? What is the benefit? Most importantly, what is the cost? Which is greater? Certainty can be one of the greatest tickets to ignorance. So when we're certain of something, certain of an attachment, it's our ticket to ignorance. New information requires us to expand our belief systems. And as we work through this, as we work through these questions, as we create the awareness, we turn on the light. We go into that vastness to allow possibilities and change to remember. Then we make that change. And it's not change, it's we become the person that we're looking to be in our greatest form. And you really, at the end of the day, we want to show up in the best way that we can. We're going to make mistakes. I often say it's never too late to correct a mistake. Never too late to correct a mistake. Let go of the ego, let go of the attachment. Step into observation, perhaps a new level of acceptance. Find that love in you. Love yourself for doing the work. This is great, great work. And, like I said, now comes manifestation. Now comes that receiving superhighway of what we are, we attract. Where we put our energy matters. So take a look at where you're putting your energy. Right now, let's take our energy and our thoughts and our imagination to our feet as we ground, center, and align, so that we can be the best that we can be today. See those tree roots or those etheric feet. What tree are you today? Look outside, look around you, see if you can see a tree and be that tree. Have some fun with it. I have this big, beautiful cedar right out my window. I'm going to be that tree. Often when I'm doing shaman work, I have this beautiful red maple in the front of my house. And it sits on sort of the side of a hill, so it's on the side of the mountain. So its roots are exposed at some ends, and it looks like these big, big elephant feet. So when I journey, I imagine journeying down those feet of the big red maple. So find something that you can journey down with as we journey down to the central core of the earth. And turn on our sensory organs to feel that coolness and that warmth, or the sharp or the shale or the sand. Come down into the molten, the warmth of the molten. I seem to always have cold feet, so I love going down into that warmth of that molten and allow my feet to warm up. As I come upon this crystalline core, see it for yourself. See where you are going and wrap your etheric feet or your tree roots around that, and invite with gratitude this earth energy up, this superhighway you've just created. Open to receive, consent to receive Mother Earth energy, consent to heal, permission to heal whatever needs to be healed today. up the legs, into the hips, up into the abdomen, into the lungs. Expand, make sure that we've got your deep diaphragmatic breath engaged for the day. And with sound, ah. Are you doing the sound? Are you uncomfortable with the sound? If you are, be curious. Bring that beautiful energy down the arms and into your hands. Are you more comfortable with the sound? Can you delight in the sound? Does it bring you joy in the morning when you make that sound and I giggle? It's like, oh my goodness. Sometimes it seems so awkward, but sometimes it seems so joyous. Bring the Mother Earth energy up into your throat, giving you the safety to speak your truth, giving you the safety to know your truth, giving you the safety to be your truth. This place where we let go of the ego, we take our will becomes thy will, because we've prepped that. It becomes our truth and up into our head. Tap on Sahasrara, open that portal and allow that Mother Earth energy to come down and cleanse that first layer of your biofield, the physical, as it washes down 360 down your body. And come into that centering place, a beautiful centering place. I find that when I'm in the shower, when when I'm doing my grounding, I set that word drop or ground. When I'm in the warmth of the water, and when I come into the centering, I just give it I take it to like a tepid, just a bit of a cool area, and it's like it centers me. It centers me. So play with different things that work for you. And let's come into that alignment, that align to God, Creator, Source, Energy, Higher Self, Universal Force, Supraconsciousness, the place of many, many names, angels, guides, seers, archangels. And allow that gold and white light energy to come down that straight, fine line, that super highway of and receive this golden white light energy. We're refueling. We've got our antenna up. Pick me. And into the body. Into the body. Every cell, every space in between each cell. Bringing in this light. This beautiful light. See it. Feel it. Taste it. Hear it. Know it. Bring it in through the throat, the shoulders and the arms and the hands. Ask, may everything I do today be in the highest form of love. Ask, please assist me, guide me to see things differently. For the better, the greater and highest good, or better for myself and humanity. Whatever it is that's coming to your mind, know that to be true for you right now. Bring it into your heart area, your lower abdomen, your hips and your legs. Show me how to be the best person I can be in this world. Guide me, support me, walk with me. Thank you for being there for me. You give me comfort. I feel comfort. I feel safe. I feel heard. I feel supported. And let's prepare to go into our outro, our mantra meditation. Engaging the breath first and foremost. Turning on the sensories and feeling the breath, the coolness on your nostrils. And the warmth on the exhalation. Something as simple as that can bring you into that breath awareness. Allow yourself to follow your breath through your body. Track it. Play with it. Bring it up into the third eye and up to the seventh. Feel it as it cascades over your cranium, giving that fluidity of the skull. It needs to be fluid up here. It needs to be fluid. Access the vagus nerve. I'm going to take you through just a little visualization and then we'll go into the mantra meditation. This was written by one of my clients after a series of appointments, and treatments. And this was her experience. So I'm going to share it with you, her sacred words. It is very sacred. I asked permission and have received. Because it's a sacred time in this writing. It is part of the journaling process. It is almost like a mandala as you bring a poem together and you bring all these thoughts together. So come into your breath awareness, breathing in, smooth, no pause, no jerks, no noise as in sound, no judgment, no noise in the mind. As we step into this, she titled it Healer. I sort of call that a catalyst. It all begins under her wings. Worlds collide and get reborn again. Infinite rivers of steel and petals. Flush memories and dreams on the battlefield of virtues and sins. Soldiers and saints, facing for the first time, with voices yet unheard, countless flocks of blackbirds overwhelm eternal skies. But then she smiles and gently navigates the flow to quiet the noise, calm the waves, and melt the lead armor off of the chest. Distant echoes are tamed to a heartbeat melody. Universe moves in harmony. The endless love she shares opens doors for light, sunny and bright, turquoise and gold. Every breath shapes mold for soul to expand like a freshly baked bread. Instead of cutting through the wounds, she turns blades into feathers, turns fears into cotton balls, and makes a pillow of joy to peacefully explore fields of endless possibilities. This is where we go. Fields of endless possibilities. Together, fields of endless possibilities. Let's take a moment here, just a minute, before we close, to sit in silence together. Stillness. Bringing in the so. Exhaling on the hum. Thank you so much for sitting here with me today. I could sit here for 45 minutes in a stillness meditation and just let it play and let you stay. If you found value, please like and share. It seems awkward to ask you to do that, but I'm getting into my own comfort zone, and it's important that the videos follow an algorithm that allow people to see them. And our offering for today from the beautiful Mother. Never had this one. Right attitude. All depends on the intensity of the faith and the firmness of the right attitude. Right attitude. All depends on the intensity of the faith and the firmness of the right attitude. The progress in sadhana. Sadhana is like a practice, so this could be considered a sadhana. Comes from the rectification of the inner and outer attitude. Not from the nature of the work one does. Any work, even the most humble, can lead to the divine if it is done with the right attitude. So the progress in sadhana comes from the rectification. I'll have to look up that one. Rectification of the inner and outer attitude, not from the nature of the work one does. Any work, even the most humble, can lead to the divine if it is done with the right attitude. Sorry for all those stumbles. We're forming our attitude. We're taking control, right? We're opening up to the possibilities of what's available, what we want to keep, and what works for us. What works for us to be the best human we can be. I love you. Hope to see you tomorrow. Make it a great